Welcome everyone to
No way.
the new and improved No Notes podcast. There's three of us now, not even just the two. There's myself, Sam, and the two known guests, Matthew and Charles. So say
Yes.
hi.
Hello, I'm Matthew Breckenridge, as you can see.
Yeah,
Just kidding. You know who I am. I'm HDouble.
I was looking up at the teams list though. I see two Matt Breckenridges on Zoom with us.
Hey, we don't gotta talk about that. It's all right. It's all good.
Well, all right. Well, I guess if you want to go by Matt now, then that would be fine by me.
But no, I'm HDouble, Charles, as everyone hopefully remembers. And
Yeah, everyone said my name like 17,000 times already. So it's MattyB, Matt, whatever. Happy to be back. It's been a long break, but I think we got some good stuff in the works. So can't really complain too much with what's going on. So
Yeah, it has been a long while. Matt and Charles came into a little cave like Aaron Rodgers and decided that they needed a third guest on. Need a third person speaking with them. So that
we
person is me. My
we
name
took a,
is Matt.
6 month darkness retreat.
Yeah, yeah.
A little more than 4 days.
Darkness to retreat.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is taking a notes out of the no notes playbook. He's doing the same, making his long way decision. But no, my name is Sam. I am the third member on No Notes. I've known Charles and Matt for a while, since at least junior year of high school. I think I've known Matt since sophomore year, but it's
or freshman year. It was
or
I think
freshman year.
I think because it was Martin knew you first, and me and Martin were friends since like seventh grade. So I
Mm,
want to say it was earlier for all of us. I want to say freshman year. So
yeah, it's been a while. I definitely would have known both of you guys even sooner if I didn't go to private middle school, but that's a topic. Yeah. No, I think no notes will be great. I'm glad to be on here. I'm glad to host most of the time, and yeah, but I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, so I brought up the idea to Matt because obviously we hadn't uploaded an episode and it's been 6 months now, pretty much. So, for me personally, with Matt and I agreed when we talked about it. We needed someone, as you can see by their choice of pillow in the background, we needed someone with opinions and different views of sports to really contradict Matt and I, to bring a little bit more flame to the fire, because Matt and I are very similar on a lot of topics, and we just kind of agreed on everything we would talk about, which that's not a bad thing per se, but having a little bit of different opinion. And Sam, he's someone who I thought of to add to the team, because I know him and I can definitely have some arguments that could be really funny, and can be a little bit heated at times, which isn't the whole goal of adding Sam, but I think that'll be a little more fun to just have a little bit more spice in it. But having a different opinion just in general, and having a third person, because Matt and I also noticed when we had extra people with us, whether that was a guest interview or having a third host, because we did that a couple times, we just noticed the episode had a lot more better of a flow, because we're not really sure what that third person was going to say. And with Sam, that's kind of how we felt, because we really don't know what Sam is going to bring for different topics we talk about. And that was the main drawing interest for me to bring him on. Obviously, we've known him for a long time, and he was my former roommate. You've been on an episode. You're on one of the first episodes of No
Yeah.
Notes,
Yes.
subbing in for Matt, if people remember that, shout out. But yeah, I just felt like a good fit. We wanted to add a third person, and could be more on the way, but we're not going to say anything right now. But yeah, that's what I have to say about it. So excited that Sam's on and he seems ready to go. So I'm excited, to be honest. So
Yeah, I'm very excited too. I remember the episode that I co-hosted on. It was sometime last summer, I believe. But no, it was a lot of fun. I love the vibe, the whole podcast setting. So I'm happy to be on for full time.
you're happy?
I'm happy.
Okay, yeah.
I'd be pretty bad if I was not happy, but
You're happy? You ready to bring
I'm,
that
I'm
fire?
I'm ready to bring that fire, definitely.
Well, I'll be the ice.
Okay,
So
you'll be the fire. I'll be the
I'll
fire.
extinguish you.
And
Yeah.
Matt is
I'll
the
unleash on you.
you'll unleash on me.
Yeah, I'll unleash on you.
Matt is the poison. We can call
Sure.
it.
I don't really understand that one, but hey,
I couldn't
whatever.
really think
Float
of
your
like
boat, dude.
I couldn't really think of like a good like opposite to fire and ice because those are two pretty well bonded things. I didn't think of like a third choice for that.
Bro, why don't we just be like freaking Avatar, do the 4 nations, bro?
Oh yeah.
Well, I was also thinking in my head, well, I could switch to water and Matt could be grass. We could be the starter Pokemons types, you know.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Well,
So
that means Sam would torch Matt though,
yeah,
but
that's
Matt would crush me, and then
yeah,
I would crush Sam.
we could all have our own little like super effective types we can see.
I know Matt would want to be water because he loves his Kyogre, but
He loves,
I'd be like Subtile, so I'm okay with that.
okay, yeah, we're good then.
you like Kyogre? I would not have guessed you as a Kyogre.
Yeah, bro. I'm a Kyogre boy. That's
We
my
were
dude.
playing, yeah, we were playing Pogo, and there was, a couple years ago, and we're all playing, and there was a lot of legendary raids going on, and Kyogre was one of them. Matt was super hype, and he would join our raids with remote passes, that good stuff. He'd join our raids.
I do remember Matt
yeah.
getting
And he would let us know if he caught it or not. And there were a couple, I didn't catch them, sad faces that he'd send me, but that happens.
That's fun.
Hey, but I did catch the what's it called? The shiny Rayquaza though.
Oh
So-
yeah.
I was so pissed after that whole summer. I got like a ton of Rayquazas and everything else, but I never got a shiny. I never got a shiny Rayquaza, so I have to go back.
I should just sell my account for like $100 just because of the shiny Rayquaza.
You should. I can't say I would buy it, but I'm sure someone would.
I've talked about that
Okay,
with Kevin.
same.
I've talked about that with Kevin a little bit. He had a shiny Mewtwo. So I feel like that's might be the top one, not gonna
That's
lie.
like every other conversation that you guys have when you talk about Pogo. Be like, how much are these Pokemon?
Shiny Mewtwo's worth, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's do you have anything you want to say, Matt, about having Sam on? Do you want to do a quick your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like Sam said, Charles and I went into our Aaron Rodgers cave mode before it was cool, and we decided that it's the direction our podcast should go, and we have some cool things lined up. We believe, for now and future reference. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I'm pretty excited with what's going on and excited to start the new stuff. So
Yeah, we've been working for we've had a couple meetings now since back in February is when we started. So we've been brainstorming about this, taking our time with this. And so we do have some things planned, and we're definitely trying to make it a little bit more of a business type, having a structure to it, because Matt and I didn't really have that. So we're trying to plan things out a lot more, hoping to bring better quality of episodes. Sports is still the main niche, so that's not going to change. But we're gonna try and mix up a little more. It's not gonna be just sports. It's like a smoothie. Like the milk, the main liquid is sports, but you gotta add some bananas. You gotta add some strawberries. You gotta add some protein powder, some spinach. You gotta add a little bit of other stuff. I see you down there.
Cereal.
Yeah, I like that you compare that to making a smoothie.
Yeah, making a smoothie.
Oh, smoothie.
Yeah,
I thought you were
smoothie.
doing cereal. I was like,
Yeah,
holy.
no,
I was like,
smoothie.
what?
I mean, anything like that could work though. Like any food, just replace like
Not spinach and cereal. That's disgusting.
No, that's gross. In a smoothie, you don't even taste it, so it's just extra
Yeah.
nutrients.
No.
to be
No,
honest. Yeah,
that makes sense. I thought you said cereal, and I was like,
yeah, no, the milk of the smoothie is still sports, so that's gonna be there. But we're gonna blend some other things in there.
Okay, the milk of the smoothie that is no nuts is still sports.
It's still sports, yes. Thank you.
Don't you worry about it, audience. The milk of the smoothie is still sports.
Yeah, and I don't think. I mean, besides having potential, having other aspects of the podcast be just sports, there's not too much that's going to necessarily change in the format of how we make these episodes. We're still going to have topics. We're going to have it be a little bit more, we each are picking topics, so it's a little more freedom for us on what we want to talk about and all, but there's not too much else that's necessarily changing besides the new ideas we have. It's going to be still us just talking kind of like how Matt and I did. It's just we're having an extra person, so it'll lead to more different conversations. I would say, but I don't think the outlook is going to be too much different from what it was originally. I would say. I mean, there's differences for sure, but overall, it's not too different. If you guys would agree with that, I think that is what we're saying. Yeah. So don't expect anything like a huge major change of any sort necessarily. So I think yeah, Sam, what should our audience expect from you?
Ooh,
what do you tell us a little bit more about yourself and like what you think you're going to bring to the notes?
Yeah, so a little bit more about myself. I like to be very creative in a lot of things that I do. I like to keep an open mind, which is very good for making arguments. A lot of friends like to roast me and make arguments, but I don't take anything personally. Yeah, Charles.
Wait, real quick. I just did that last night in Mario Party.
That's true. We did play Mario Party.
Just made fun of you.
A lot of trash talk was said.
Hey, can I get a quick 0 for Sam on stars last night?
I'm usually one to give back said trash talk, but I think I'm pretty good at Mario Party, but I did suck last night.
You keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want
Charles did beat me down last night. I'll give him that, but I do like to have fun arguments. Charles and Matt are both ones to like to throw the heat back at me, which is great. It'll make for some good conversations in the future. I know of it. But yeah, I'm very excited to have some debates in the future, including now. Yeah, one of the strong suits, I love sports. Obviously, that's part of the reason why I'm here right now. Part of the love for sports is for baseball. I'm a huge baseball fan. That actually transitions into the first topic that I have. I think what our game plan is going to be that we all have main topics that we focus on to argue about. And there's been a lot of sports going on in the sports world in the past 6 months, past month especially. But I've focused a lot on the World Baseball Classic. I know it's not the most popular thing with Americans at least, but it's pretty fun to watch. It's basically for the more casual fans, you can kind of think of it as a big baseball tournament between a bunch of different countries. So think of it as like the Olympics for baseball, since the Olympics doesn't even host baseball tournaments. But
or like the World Cup.
Yeah, I like the World Cup. I like basketball too. A lot of most major other sports, the Olympics hosts. So yeah, the Olympics hates baseball. No one knows why, but yeah. Oh well. The MLB.
I don't have an answer.
Yeah, you don't have an answer. But yeah, it's kind of a shame that it's put on the back burner, especially with a lot of other sports going on that a lot of people don't even recognize the World Baseball Classic or they're not even interested in it. But no, I think it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
I know there's also March Madness, which is a big sports event, especially with Charles and Matt. That's going on right now. It's taking a lot of viewership away from the WBC, but Team USA is having a pretty good run this year, and I'm very excited to watch and be a part as a big fan. They were pretty shaky at first watching them, but I think they're doing good now. And they're actually going to play in the semifinals against Cuba tonight. So,
that's tonight.
Watching, yeah, it's tonight at 6 p.m. Central, I believe.
Ooh, we're getting close to that.
So it's in like 50 minutes. So
yeah, pretty much in 15 minutes from the time that we're recording this. But yeah, it'll be fun to watch. I'm just happy that Team USA got past Venezuela last night because they did not look very good. They got carried by Trey Turner with a go-ahead grand slam in the 8th inning. That was pretty impressive. But yeah, outside of that, they don't look like the greatest team. They don't look like the team to beat, definitely. But
so real quick, also before, because we're about to jump into your topic, I know of, but yeah, Sam brought up a good point. and another reason we emphasis for us to bring him on was he's very knowledgeable in baseball. And I know Matt knows some baseball. I think Matt can definitely talk baseball, but I don't think to the level of Sam. And I really don't know baseball. And we wanted to bring that aspect to No Notes because I've talked about wanting to get into baseball more, and having someone like Sam who really enjoys baseball will kind of push me to get more into baseball, because I do want to watch it more. And I know they have these rule changes with pitchers and stuff that they're experimenting with, and we kind of also experimented with that with Matt before we left. Matt being a big soccer fan, which obviously I'm not really into soccer, and so Matt tried to bring that more into No Notes as well. So we're really trying to diverse the sports, because basketball and football was for the most part what we talked about. And so trying to be more diverse, and Sam will bring an added baseball element to that. So that was another reason of emphasis. So, but yeah, Sam, you can go ahead and we can jump into the first topic.
For sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, to add to what you were saying too, it's great that we all have our own little specialties as to what sports we like to watch. Obviously, we all love to watch like football and basketball, but I probably can't talk about as much basketball as you can, or definitely not as much soccer as Matt can either. So that's great that we can all bounce off of each other like that and help each other out. But yeah. World Baseball Classic is my topic. I think there's a lot to talk about. Definitely, there's a lot that's happened in the past couple days, the past couple weeks, even. But mainly, safe to say, Team USA isn't looking the greatest for now. Like I was mentioning, they are about to play in the semifinals against Cuba tonight. I don't think anyone in America has very high hopes for Team USA this year. It's kind of crazy to think about because of how stacked Team USA is compared to other countries, at least, to where Team USA has the best players in the MLB right now, and other countries might even have like 2 or 3 MLB caliber players, and some might not even scratch the minor leagues, might not even beat that. But yeah, I am just excited that they that they passed the quarterfinals, and yeah.
What you left us on a cliff.
I did.
Well, at least that's the
okay. I can take over.
All right.
I can give my 2 cents. I do have to say, for Team USA, the pitching definitely isn't as good as it could be. I mean, you have players like Max Scherzer, Greinke, other pitchers like that who are just focusing on spring training and doing that kind of stuff. And I think that's the weakness, and I think you can see it when they play. I mean, if it gets into like, a runs battle, yeah, USA. I mean, yeah, Paul Goldschmidt, Arenado, Trey Turner, Mike Trout. I mean, so many people who can rake, But baseball is a two-sided game. There's hitting and then pitching, and I'd like to say our pitching isn't very good compared to others. Granted, definitely a blessing that the USA lost to Mexico, because now they don't have to face Japan in the semis. Granted, Cuba did beat Puerto Rico, but I think I'd rather play Cuba than Japan at this point, And so I think Team USA, like, they're not like being as dominant as we think they should be. However, I still do think they have a good chance to win. And I kind of, if it's Japan and USA, I think that'd be a good final, since we can't get like, the DR versus USA or any of that kind of stuff anymore. Mm-hmm. So I think that'd be probably the best final, but a rematch Mexico USA would be kind of cool too. So I feel like as long as the USA makes it in, I feel like it doesn't matter who comes out of Japan, Mexico. I think people will be more excited for that final than, let's say, like a Cuba versus one of those two teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be exciting to watch. I also think Japan is the team to beat. They went undefeated in the pool play. They went 4-0. I think they scored something ridiculous.
38 runs and only give up 8.
Yeah, 38-8. It's crazy. Meanwhile, Team USA after 2 games they allowed 21 runs. So it's kind of scary to look at. Definitely a blessing that they're playing Team Cuba tonight instead of Japan. But yeah, it's crazy to think too. A lot of Team USA players. So we have some of the best stars, at least this year, but there's not a lot of sense of really caring, especially compared to other countries. A lot of other countries like Venezuela, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Italy, even smaller countries less known for baseball. They've all come out saying all of their players are like they're super happy and passionate to represent their country and playing in a World Baseball Classic. It's a sense of pride for them. Meanwhile, talking to people with Team USA, a lot of people didn't really even care. A lot of athletes, even compared to 2017. 2017 was the last year that the World Baseball Classic was played. Team USA won, which is great. Wahoo, but yeah, a lot of athletes, a lot of USA born athletes, they didn't really even care about playing the World Baseball Classic. They just saw it as a risk of getting injuries, even though it's played during spring training. You would get excused from spring training to play that instead, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like there isn't really a lot more risk injury to that, but yeah, one of the biggest shockers, at least for 2017. Mike Trout, one of the best baseball players in the world right now, he actually opted out of playing in the World Baseball Classic in 2017 because he thought no one in the U.S. really cared about that tournament. But thankfully, there's been a little bit of a change of scenery. There's been a lot of exciting stuff to happen in the tournament this year. I think it's brought a lot more excitement into America, at least. A lot of other countries are super excited, as they've always been, but thankfully this year at least has brought a little bit more passion and drive to actually play in this tournament, which is great to see because it's always more fun to see when there is a lot better players playing. So it's exciting to watch.
Yeah. Should I give my 4 cents, not my 2 cents, because I don't know baseball that well?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, so I guess this boils down to my lack of baseball to a degree, because when I look at the Team USA lineup, because I have seen it, especially obviously there's the hitters and the who's playing in the field and all that, right? I mean, I look at that lineup and I'm like, holy crap, that's really good. But I feel like I'm just kind of numb to knowing, where like the American team and seeing the American team and seeing those players. And I don't actually really know the other teams that well, as you guys have talked about Japan being a real big threat. And so I know, Sam, you had brought up, about how Team USA hasn't been dominant like it should be, how it looks on paper. And it makes me wonder to myself a little bit, are these other countries, are they maybe a little bit better than we think they are to a degree compared to Team USA? I don't have an answer to that. I'm just wondering about that because when I see Team USA, obviously I think dominance, and and I'm looking at their scores, and obviously they lost to Mexico by 6. They barely beat Venezuela, as you guys were talking about. I remember in the chat yesterday, it was like USA's about to lose. Obviously, there's that grand slam. And Sam, you had mentioned, why is USA not taking it as serious,
Yeah.
And it just makes you wonder. And first off, let me just say, I can't stand when that stuff happens. Like when, for example, maybe Purdue, when teams that are way more favored just like don't, maybe not, you don't know for sure, but they don't maybe give as much care and effort because they're like, oh, it's easy. That stuff definitely upsets me. I don't know if that's Team USA, if that's what they're going through or not. You brought that question, Sam, like why don't they care as much? I just wonder, like I said, if it's the countries are going up against, maybe that we're disrespecting them a little more. Maybe they're better than we think. Either or. I really like how you're trying to spread more passion and awareness to the WBC, because I didn't even know it existed until the lineup was announced. I didn't know it was a thing. And I feel like most Americans, like you said, probably didn't know that unless you're a big baseball fan. But as we know, baseball popularity in America is way lower because of football and even basketball, especially as you said, March Madness going on right now. So I really appreciate you trying to stand up, for America's game, baseball more. And so I really like that passion from you. I'm definitely rooting for Team USA though. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to say about it. I haven't obviously watched too much, or I haven't watched it at all. So that's my thoughts on it. But it does make me wonder about, why they maybe are struggling a little more than we thought. And obviously, Matt said pitching is a concern, and a lot of the good pitchers aren't even competing, which you, Sam, alluded to the fact that like not many American-born players want to play in the WBC. So yeah, but yeah, those are my thoughts on it. So
yeah, a lot of. Oh, go
I'll
ahead.
give my thoughts real quick, Sam, before you give your. You have like the final word before we move on to our other topics. To answer your question, in my personal opinion, and Sam, you can correct me if I'm wrong or if you think it's not correct. But when I look at it, especially coming from the March Madness side, right? When you have like that this like what's that called? That distinction of like being the best or the reigning champ or etc. Right? Every team wants to beat you, but they also realize we're not supposed to win, so we're just gonna do some things that we probably wouldn't because we're playing with like house money. It's like we're not really supposed to win, but we're gonna try it. I think that's one thing. The second thing, you have a lot of players who are nationality wise USA, Americans. And so I think sometimes you think, what, I don't really want to get hurt, but I'm sure someone else will want to play. And at the end of the day, if you keep having people like that, then you're gonna get down to like probably the mid-tier players. Whereas whenever you have like a player who represents Italy or Japan or Cuba, right? There's just not as many people that they get to choose from. And so you can't really say, oh, we'll let this other guy do it because I don't want to. Like you're kind of expected to. And so to me, I think those two things are the reasons why like the USA isn't as good. And the only reason why I say that is because, I mean, when we talk about soccer, right? The USA, we probably would say the USA has the best talent pool out of every single country in the world just because we put in a lot of money in sports, but there's a lot of options, right? And I think that's what goes into like maybe like the baseball or soccer stuff, right? It's soccer's different. You want to play for World Cup, but like baseball, right? It's like, I'd rather do spring training. I'd rather win a World Series than go and do WBC. I'll let someone else do it. Whereas if you're, like Shohei Ohtani, right? You're kind of the main guy for Japan. If you say you're not going to do it, like it's almost like not a choice, I mean, they even have was it Lars Nootbaar or whatever it is from the Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
He was born in the U.S., but he's ancestrally playing for Japan because his mom is Japanese. And so he probably couldn't get on the USA team because he's not beating out Mookie Betts. He's not beating out Mike Trout, etc., right? But he wants to play. And so he's like, I'm going to go to Japan. And he's doing great for them, right? And so I think that passion and kind of that mentality just isn't there for the U.S. But that's my opinion. I don't know. Sam, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But
yeah, it's great to see kind of lower level players making a splash a little bit, gaining some notoriety. It's always great to see with kind of what Charles was saying, a lot of lesser known players is getting more recognition, which is always great to see. Yeah, it's just it's kind of weird thinking about it, how some Team USA players, they don't really have the desire to play, nor that they really even care to. But I'm glad to see at least World Baseball Classic is getting a little bit more notoriety. They did plan to play in 2020, but it had to be canceled because of COVID. But yeah, compared to 2017, I don't think a lot of audiences really even care to watch it. A lot of players, even not even from Team USA, but like Team Japan, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, those are a lot of main baseball countries, and they all kind of have a big notoriety towards baseball. It's usually always expected for Team USA to do really well, just because with what Matt was saying, we put a lot of funding into all of our sports organizations. And it's crazy to think about because teams like Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, they're just very poor as a country and they don't have a lot of funding to even give out. So it's always shocking to see them be able to play against some of the world's best in terms of baseball, at least. So that's always fun to watch. I guess it just needs to gain more of an audience to casual viewers, more of a mainstream audience. But it still has some of those top sports to beat. And with what was said earlier, baseball has to compete now with sports like football and basketball that are just gaining in popularity in today's age. And baseball is still America's sport, at least, but it's kind of lowering in popularity. And hopefully that'll change in the future.
Football in America honestly crushes all the other sports right now, for sure.
Definitely.
Viewership. I mean, that once a week on Sundays really, really is the cherry on top.
They
So,
kind of, they pretty much have their own entire viewership on Sundays and even on Thursdays and Monday nights. It's just all football that you can watch.
But yeah, we ready to move on to our next topic, which is Matt. Matt,
Yeah.
You got the next topic?
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, nice topic. I know we're running a little bit low on time because I want to get to Charles because Charles, this topic is a little bit more meaty.
Yeah, Sam, how are we
and it's
doing on
definitely
time
cool.
there? You little time manager. How are we doing over there?
We're doing okay.
Are we?
We're not doing terrible. I am watching the time. I did tell Charles and Matt I would be the time guy for this podcast. I'm looking at the time pretty well, as long as Matt doesn't. I blabbered a little bit too much, but I think,
Hey, it's okay. It happens.
yeah, it happens.
First episode.
It's the passion that came out of me.
Yeah, no, that's good. No, that's good. Hey, well, it's all right. Yeah, we're just messing with
Yeah.
you. We're messing with you already. Look at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go.
Yeah, so just my topic was, I mean, Charles and I both probably could have chose this one, but I decided to do this one. Was March Madness. And Sam suggested we talk a little bit about our brackets, kind of who we like and stuff. But I kind of wanted to hear what our overall thoughts of the tournament so far has been, and then each person give one game that they think has been the most fun to watch or that they've enjoyed the most. So for me, I'll go first on that one just because I don't want someone to take mine away. Because I was listening to this. I was actually listening to this game in the car home because I was driving home from Vegas yesterday. But I was listening to the Kansas and Arkansas game, and
that's your favorite.
So far, yeah, honestly, because it's just been back and forth. I mean, honestly, when Kansas loses, it's also fun. I mean, Charles and I don't like Kansas. But like it was just like good to see just like, the runs and big shots and there's foul trouble, having to navigate all that. I mean, and then 72-71, I mean, that's close. I mean, granted, there was a buzzer beater, etc. But I mean, it was played hard down to the wire. I mean, I wish Kansas had Bill Self as a coach, so that way they can say, hey, we beat them at full strength, because there'll be some people that would be like, oh, well, Bill Self wasn't there. I mean, at the end of the day, for me, it's not too much about the coach, but more on the players. I mean, especially at that level. I mean, you've played with a coach for now how many seasons or how many games now, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you have to go out and compete. The coaches aren't going out there and playing basketball against each other. It's the men.
Yeah. So
that's probably my favorite one I've listened to, watched so far. Hopefully there's more, but those are definitely that's definitely the one I like the most.
I'd be lying if I'd say that Bill Self not coaching had no impact on it. I think it had to have a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so obviously I know they lost by 1, but I don't know. I mean, obviously we can't. What's happened has happened. Hopefully the smoke alarm is going off a little bit in there. Hopefully Bill Self, it sounds like he's okay, which is the most important thing. So, but I was thinking about this in the shower last night, the shower thought. I don't know what I've learned is you can't trust defending champs because, okay, let's think about it. Kansas, they're out now, right? And then Baylor from 2021 lost in the round of 32 last year to North Carolina, right? And then before that, it was Virginia. And I know the next season it was canceled, but the year after, they were out round 1. 2018 was Villanova. they made it not too far. 2017 North Carolina, they lost in the round of 32. 2016 Villanova, they lost in the round of 32. Duke 2015, they lost in the round of 32. So basically, if anyone's out here, and including you guys, whoever wins this year, next year don't pick them to go far. That's all I've learned. Sweet 16 max. They're not going to go further than that. That's all I've learned. So yeah, just saying.
That's definitely what I've learned too. Obviously, I don't know as much as March Madness is compared to either of you guys, but they really got me into filling out brackets for the March Madness tournament. And I've learned that pretty quickly, especially with Virginia. There was that great stat gone 1-3 as a top 4 seed.
I gotta give them credit though. Like I said, the one time they won it all. So like
the one time that they did,
I don't count that against them.
Yeah, the one time that they did finally win the round of 64, they actually won it all that year. So it's definitely a very volatile prediction to make. I always seem to make the wrong picks, but I think I could do a lot worse. Thankfully.
What's your favorite game though, Sam? I'll let you go next because I'll let you have yours. I'll go last.
Okay. Well, I haven't followed as many March Madness games live as I wanted to watch. I've been watching a lot of World Baseball Classic games, and they've been all over the place as it goes for times. But one game that I got to watch a little bit of, thankfully, and it actually turned out to be one of the more fun games in the tournament so far, outside of Arkansas and Kansas, because I actually did get to watch some of that too, and that was pretty amazing to watch. But I actually did get to watch some of the FDU Knights game.
Oh, of course.
Purdue.
Gotta bring that one up.
It is actually super fun to watch. Always love watching an underdog story like this, like Cinderella. Literally no one, I don't think anyone even knew the FDU Knights existed.
No, I did, but yeah.
Charles, you
I know.
Charles never forgets, but it's something crazy. Like FDU is one of the smallest D1 colleges in America. I think you can correct me on that, Charles, if I'm wrong. But
they're small. Yeah, they're small.
Yeah, definitely. But it's just crazy to watch. I love watching Purdue, especially Purdue basketball. I think they have what makes you say ooh, Charles?
Well, he convinced me last year after they lost to St. Peter's, and I joined the Purdue train. It's in full effect right now. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, you guys did have
that's the name, Purdue.
A Purdue chant going on. They made what, like
they made the Elite Eight a couple years. They lost to Virginia, and they lost. Honestly, they really shouldn't have lost that game. So yeah, that was tough. That's their one chance.
That's not terrible though. I was gonna say they made the Final Four, but Elite Eight is still acceptable.
You have a couple cousins that went there, right? Is that why you're a fan?
Yeah, that's why I followed them.
I'm sorry.
I had a couple of cousins that go, but it's okay. I was pretty happy to see Arkansas win at least because my dad is an Arkansas alum, and he's nice. So it was awesome. Especially seeing the coach pop off like that is pretty cool. But FDU Knights, baby. I'm excited to play in round 2.
Yeah, they played tonight. Yeah.
I really hope that they have a performance like they did against Princeton and Mizzou. They crush my team. My team is Mizzou, and they actually crushed them. So hopefully FDU does.
Hey, all I'm saying is shout out to these Jersey schools.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's crazy.
And I can't believe it's been 3 straight years of a 15 seed going to the Sweet 16. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
can you explain it, Matt? What's going on here?
I mean, I was listening to some different podcasts, different people and stuff. I don't really know how many, if this like really counts.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the transfer portal now, I mean, if you don't see a lot of guys waiting their turns, right? Because in the transfer portal in past years, if you transferred, you had to sit out a year, right? And so it's like, okay, do I transfer, sit out a year, and then sit behind someone else again if someone else comes in? But now that you can just switch whenever you want to, I think it means like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm not playing right now, but I'm going to go to this school and let's make a name for myself, you know? So I think that the gulf in talent is shrinking to where that happens. And I mean, like I said, when you're a
Yeah.
16, 15 seed, you're playing with house money. There's no pressure
Yeah.
on you to win. And I think pressure is a fact. I mean, when you're in the regular season, you're like, you know what? Like, we can win this game. Our goal is to get the March Madness, right? Like, that's the goal. But now when you're favored to win something, win a championship, I mean, it's almost maybe a mental thing where you almost nitpick yourself, like, oh freak, I missed a three. Okay, I missed a layup. Instead of saying it's okay,
Yeah.
we'll get it the next time, right? So I just think there's a lot of that kind of stuff. So
I know, honestly, and Matt and I talked about, we didn't even have Purdue going to the next round or the next weekend. I wasn't a fan of Purdue's team, to be honest. I didn't like their team, so the fact they honestly lost, I'm not like the most shocked, if I'm being honest. But yeah. Anyways, so my March Madness moment from this year has got to be the Furman Virginia game. It's got to be. I mean, I love the upsets have been awesome, but like that to me was the definition of March Madness. A wild, they trap, and then the Virginia guy throws it. Tries to throw a Hail Mary to try and probably potentially win the game. Gets picked off at midcourt. They bring it up. The guy just shoots it the three, nails it. And the announcer goes nuts because they're down 2, go up 1. I saw that live at work. I was so hyped for like 10 minutes after that. That to me just defines March Madness even more than an upset, because that was still an upset, to be fair, but like a game winner like that, to me, I enjoyed that more than watching Purdue lose. Like as a fan, like I did, like seeing a game winner like that, especially how it happened, is more enjoyable than watching Princeton win or Purdue win or lose. So yeah, that's got to be my moment. That was awesome. I'm sad Furman lost because I love their purple jerseys, which is why I picked them to win that game. I want to play for Furman just for the purple jerseys, if I'm being honest. But yeah, that was awesome. So super cool moment.
It's really cool to see that highlight from Furman, especially when the clock was winding down. Like Charles was saying, Furman was down 2, and they hit a clutch 3.
Off a turnover too, when Virginia didn't really have to do that. I think they had a timeout if nonetheless could have called that.
Yeah. Arkansas learned from their mistake and actually held on to the ball after
Kansas. Wait, what Arkansas do? What's him?
At the ending during the Arkansas Kansas game, they actually held on to the ball and didn't throw a Hail Mary and give a turnover away.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, Virginia didn't really do a Hail Mary. The guy what I think happened is I think he saw a white jersey down there and didn't see a purple one and just hucked it.
I just think he thought he could outthrow him.
Because if you huck it up in the air, right? I mean, you have to wait for it to come down. It's not like it's illegal to do that. And so I think he just saw white jersey, threw it,
I just think he thought he could outthrow him.
Because that guy.
That's just what I think. I just thought he could outthrow him.
Well, yeah. Well, it's just kind of weird because that guy who did the turnover, he was the one who made the clutch pass to Virginia that helped them win in 2018.
Yeah, against Purdue.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like, hopefully he's not remembered as that guy. I mean, he probably will be because,
he shouldn't. He won a championship.
Upset,
Clark, he was Virginia. He won that championship his freshman year. So,
yeah. So,
still, I can't believe he did that. I can't believe he did that. He's been like the most steady point guard at, fifth-year guy. Like a real, he's been there for so long. Virginia's don't turn it over often. I can't believe he thought to do that, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Call the timeout if you have to, right?
It's sad to watch. It was sad to watch.
I don't know if you guys caught this, but one of the announcers, when he threw it, and Kevin Harlan was on the call, but the other announcer was like, "Oh, he didn't have to do that." Did you guys hear that when watching the highlight? That was funny.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a peek at our brackets real quick? I don't think we have to. I mean, mine's already bad.
Mine's pretty bad too. So
mine's terrible.
But
okay, just give me so far. What are 2 teams that you really liked and think if you could fill out your bracket now, who would you do far?
Honestly, I wish I had kept my original bracket of having Texas going far because I like Texas a lot. I don't know. I changed it for some reason. I thought A&M would beat them, and then A&M didn't even win. So I like Texas a lot. And honestly, I'm a big fan of Miami. I know they haven't played yet, but I really like Miami too. I've been saying that for a while. But I'll give you a higher seed. Let's go with. Honestly, not. I like San Diego State a lot too. They look good. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Texas and San Diego State, to be honest. So San Diego State reminds me of Houston last year, who I really liked. That's who they remind me of, and I do think they're gonna. Who do they play next round?
Alabama.
I think they're gonna beat Alabama, to be honest. I think that'll be a good game though. I'm not a big fan of Houston either. I just didn't think Auburn was that good, to be honest. So I don't think Houston's gonna go. I think Miami will beat Houston if they make it. So that's just my opinion. But yeah.
We can definitely talk about it more in future podcasts. I know there's a lot to talk about with March Madness, but we should.
Sam's just scared to admit he doesn't know what two teams he thinks are good. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I'll just get this in. I'll just get this in real quick before we move on to the next topic. I did pick Texas in my bracket, and I'm still sticking by them.
It's a good pick.
And I really like UConn. I think they have a really good team. So those are my two that I really like.
They're playing St. Mary's right now.
UConn always does seem to clutch up. So
and Marquette. Those are my three. Those are my three that I've liked since the beginning. Was Marquette, UConn, Texas. So.
I'm glad you at least had an idea because I genuinely had no clue. You told me you had no clue. Look at you out here. You're like, oh, these teams I felt good about, and look how they're doing. Look at me. I was like, yeah, Arizona, they look good. Picked them to win. They're gone round one. So, Matt's been lying to me behind the scenes. He knew all along who he liked.
He's got that sweet.
He's just trying to make me feel better.
The thing is, my best bracket isn't even in our group that we did. So I'm just like, ugh.
Oh man, oof. But yeah.
Anyways, I know we need to move on. So
yeah, we'll probably talk about March Madness a little more, obviously. How are we doing on time, Sam? How much time do we have left? If we have any.
We about 10 minutes.
5. Okay. All right. Well,
but you've got a big topic.
I might have to keep track of time next time. I'm not gonna lie, but
are you saying I did a bad job?
Yeah, I think you're lying. I think we're already over, to be honest. But anyways,
if we're
okay, I can do it next time, bro.
I think we already hit 45, but that's okay.
Oh, we definitely hit 45. But
yeah, well, that was the goal. Okay. Anyways,
he did say 45 to an hour. So
no, I didn't say that. Hey, it's okay. It's the first episode. It's okay. We'll get better.
I will still side by Charles saying 45 minutes to an hour.
That's a lot. That's
not technically wrong.
I never said that. No,
that's technically wrong. Just
all right. Anyways, we're burning more time right now as we argue about time. So my topic is we've hit baseball, we've hit March Madness, and now we got to hit the other big sports news in America. I'd say right now, NFL. Free agency obviously has had some sparks for sure. There's one thing about free agency though that's kind of going being swept under the rug, but should it really be? Lamar Jackson, my quarterback as of right now. That's tentative to say the least. Lamar obviously can't come to a deal with the Ravens. It's been looking like this for a while. He got the non-exclusive franchise tag. I'm sure everyone knows that by now. But you know what that means? He's out there for a team to get, and yet no team has really come forward for a 26-year-old former NFL MVP at the most important position in the game. What's going on here? So obviously you guys remember, we're going to jump into that, but I gave you guys a couple prompts to think about. I'll go first. How do I think about the Ravens' treatment of Lamar? Not a fan at all. He's our whole offense. And if we don't have him, what are we going to do? He's one MVP for us. He's given us everything he has. But basically we're telling him we don't believe in you long term. It's I don't know. I just don't have good vibes. It's kind of hard to continue to be a Ravens fan seeing this kind of treatment. I know it's like you gotta do what's best for the team, and a lot of people are like, we can't pay him what he wants because we're gonna be cap strapped, So I don't know. I don't like the Ravens treatment of Lamar. So I just want to hear you guys' thoughts on that. Sammy, go first.
It's definitely been a messy breakup with Lamar, and it is kind of weird with the fact that the two big free agent quarterbacks, Lamar and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the guy to be getting all the attention, yet he is 15 years older than Lamar. It's kind of crazy. The dude is about to turn 40, and he has more offers than 26-year-old guy. Probably hasn't even time yet. And like Charles said, he got an MVP. He's done everything for the Ravens. And as a Chiefs fan, I try not to be as biased as I can, but I think the Ravens are being fairly smart with how they're dealing with Lamar's contract. Obviously, they don't think it's a good idea to stick with him long term. I'm still not convinced. Charles will know better because he probably follows Lamar a lot more than I do, but
I do.
I'm still not convinced with his entire tool set outside of just running. You can kind of compare him to as an elite running back, but with elite running backs, most only have a prime year age to about maybe 4 or 5 years. Zeke is a good example. He blew up in 2016. He is absolute garbage this year. And even last year, he's only had 4 years of actually being a really solid running back. And compared to Lamar, too, yes, he did win an MVP as a quarterback, which is great and all.
What? Okay.
Don't think it's going to happen anytime
soon. I got.
But
real quick, Sam, you just. I'm gonna save it because we don't have time.
You gotta let Sam do his piece, and then don't worry.
Bro, let me just say, Lamar can throw a football as well as I can. I mean, I did throw 4 touchdowns.
we know Sam's reaching.
I did throw 4 touchdowns last time we played. And I can't remember a game that Lamar has thrown 4 touchdowns. I can remember the last time Lamar has thrown 4 picks, but not 4 touchdowns. I'll just say that.
Here, let me just say, I'm not gonna jump into this today, but you definitely just opened up a can of worms, saying you don't believe in Lamar. But that could be another day.
Oh, I know I did. I really try to not start a giant fire because we don't have a lot of time today. But I have a lot of strong words to say about a guy like Lamar.
Okay, I can give my 2 cents. I just want to say I have a differing opinion, Sam. I also am not going to compare Lamar Jackson to Ezekiel Elliott because they're 2 different players. Right. If Lamar was a running back, would he have a shelf life of 4 to 5 years? Yes, because he's a quarterback. Does it triple that? Yes, because he's not supposed to get hit. So besides that point, and is Lamar Jackson still a better running back than Ezekiel Elliott? Of course, but he can also throw the ball, unlike Sam. Anyways,
I can throw the ball. What? I can
Sam, the ball. Anyways, if I was the Ravens, if I was in this position, I wouldn't do the non-exclusive tag. I would have franchise tagged him, so that way at least you get, it's a little bit more locked down. I do feel like they have maybe disrespected him a little bit. However, I do agree with Sam, and I can see his point. If you think that, he's not the best quarterback in accuracy, all that kind of stuff, and you can't see yourself winning with him, why would you put your cap space or that franchise in that much stranglehold, pretty much? So I do see Sam's point. And I totally get it from a business perspective. Like, they are doing what they think is best, and I can understand that. I mean, seeing Patrick Mahomes get $500 million for 10 years, I mean, you kind of get locked in. I mean, granted, Patrick Mahomes was very nice this offseason, said, hey, let's restructure my contract and give me a roster bonus or signing bonus, as they always do.
A guarantee to free up cap space.
Yeah, exactly, right. But if it was me and I was a GM and I had a quarterback like Lamar, Lamar hasn't had a true number one receiver. It's always been hodgepodge. I would love to see him. I would love if it was me, a GM. I would love to see him with like a DeAndre Hopkins or an Amari Cooper or a Devontae Adams for a year to see if that changes his numbers. If it doesn't, then I'd be very hesitant to give him that money. But if all of a sudden he becomes just even that much more dynamic,
Yeah.
then he's worth it. So to me, I feel like that's why also teams aren't very willing to maybe part and try to go after him is because one, how much it's going to cost, and two, are the teams that need a quarterback, do they have those wide receivers in place? Probably not, right?
I do think Lamar is okay. So obviously, we all know what threw the whole wrench into this is the Deshaun Watson contract, right?
Mhm.
And so obviously, reports are, and there's obviously some truth to it, but Lamar is asking for guaranteed money. And obviously, the Ravens don't want to pay him that, as we see. But it seems like other teams don't want to pay him that either. And basically, what the Ravens are doing, and this shows you this relationship is really fractured. They put the non-exclusive, so it's like they're giving him way less money first off for next year, and a team has to give up 2 picks for him. So the Ravens are like, all right, someone else can do this for us, and we get 2 first-round picks if we don't want to sign him. But at the same time, if another team doesn't sign him, the Ravens would be like, hey, we told you so. You're not worth this.
Mhm.
And what makes it so difficult is Lamar doesn't have an agent, and so the relationship really gets fractured on a personal level because Lamar has to hear all this and take this all in. There's no agent to buffer this between them, right? He hears everything that we're saying about why we don't want to pay him, and that makes it so much more difficult to want to make a long-term relationship if the Ravens don't think he's worth what he thinks it is, and that just makes it so much more difficult. And it makes me wonder if the teams, if any, are kind of scared because they probably think, oh, Lamar's in the wrong, it's not the Ravens, which I don't know if the Ravens are in the wrong, but you know what I mean? Like they're painting that picture on Lamar kind of in a way. And so it's kind of sad to see no teams make a real effort to try and get him because I think Lamar can win you Super Bowl. And I think he can throw the ball pretty well, unlike Sam. You can't win MVP unless you can't throw the ball. That's all I'm saying.
That is true. That is true. I'll give him that.
So,
I have a couple more arguments to make about Lamar. He is asking for a ton of money.
yeah.
He has had solid weapons in the past, like Mark Andrews last season, the season before. He's one of the best tight ends in the league. The tight end position, Travis Kelce has definitely shown it's one of the easiest positions to throw the ball to. They don't really even do much. Granted, Mark Andrews is more of a blocking tight end, but that even if that were to show up, that would free up more opportunities for wide receivers. And I can't imagine wide receivers would be that bad if they're playing in the NFL. So
let me just say this as well to go, because you said he's had some weapons, which I can agree with to a T, but what's Lamar's regular season? I know we're playoffs a little different. What's his record? What's his overall record?
Lamar's record.
You know what it is? You want me to bring it up for you?
I'll need you to look that up.
I got you. It's pretty good. And for example, this past season, I know he's obviously had a couple injuries that have been this season, but that wasn't even running plays. That was on like sacks and in the pocket kind of stuff. It wasn't even like he ran and got hit.
That's true. I will give it to him.
Remember what happened? They were 2 games ahead in the division of the Bengals. He gets hurt, they lose the division, right?
Right.
So Lamar's career record, he's 45-16. That is a 73% win percentage. He wins games. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's asking for a lot. I think it's too much, but man, it seems like the Ravens are way, way under what he wants. And I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I do have to say he does have Mark Andrews, but like, who are his wide receivers? Whereas Patrick Mahomes, he had Tyreek for a while until last year. So I'll give you that if you're comparing it to last year only. But if we compare overall, I mean, even last year, I think I'd rather have Boo Boo over like Rashad Bateman. when it comes to someone who's reliable. I mean, someone who's there. I mean, granted, they play different positions, right? Rashad Bateman's kind of more outside, whereas Boo Boo is more of a slot guy. But, I mean, let's be real here. If we compare all the years that Lamar's been in the league with Patrick Mahomes, which is who people compare them to, and Josh Allen, right? Lamar's definitely had the worst options out of everyone. I mean, even Josh Allen, he's had Stephon Diggs, now Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox, right? I think Lamar would love to have any one of those guys. I mean, plus Mark Andrews, of course, but any one of those guys plus him. I mean, and then look at down in Miami, you got Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. I'm sure those Dolphins make a playoff run with Lamar compared to Tua. So I just think it really is just. I think if you have one or two more weapons, that's great. Obviously, health is a concern. He did get hurt last year, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, is he asking for a lot of money? Is it too much? In my personal opinion, yes. Should he be maybe about 5 or 10 million lower than what he should be per year? Yes. But at the end of the day, if you win games, I mean, that's what a quarterback's supposed to do for you. So I see both sides. I'm not saying either you're wrong, Sam, or Charles, you're wrong. So obviously, Charles, you're kind of more with your heart because you're a fan, whereas Sam is more of the business analytical, and so I see both sides. And Charles, I think that's why this is a topic of debate, because I think either way is right.
I mean, not even being a Ravens fan, I want to see Lamar get more money than we're offering him with another team, to be honest, because I think you can win a Super Bowl with them. Real quick, I know you're talking about lack of weapons. I think it's been more offensive game plan. Greg Roman, I'm glad he's gone. Because after the MVP season, which unleashed Lamar, it caught up to him way too quick, and they could not throw the ball very effectively. The pass game wasn't very good. And I don't think it's Lamar's fault, personally. I thought the play calling was not the best. The scheme was not very good. So a better passing scheme, I think Lamar can prove you wrong, Sam. That's all I'm saying. Doesn't have to be on the Ravens, and I don't think I don't know, it might be. I don't know. Maybe the team's not even going to offer him, so.
Yeah, maybe. Charles is definitely a lot more passionate about the Ravens, so he makes more in-depth arguments about Lamar. And he's definitely a winnable quarterback. That kind of record that he has is definitely a record you cannot look away from. It's really good. But this makes for a really true and good debate that we all are coming from different perspectives. We'll have to touch on it a lot more on a future podcast. But I know Charles is trying to get some more stuff out, but
Sam knows he's lost.
Okay.
Well, no, real quick. Really I know we're already so over time. I mean, but real quick, where do you guys want to see him go?
Ooh.
Where do you like him at? Where do you like him?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would have to do.
I asked you earlier to think about it.
You did ask me earlier to think about it.
Personally,
did you do your homework?
Personally, I would say the Patriots because that's my team. That's
personal. I've heard some chatter about it. I've heard chatter about Lamar Patriots.
But if we're thinking of like actual fits that I think would be very interesting, I would love to see the Vikings trade for him.
Vikings.
That would be fun. That would be fun. I still think the Vikings are pretty in on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
they are. I'm just saying if you could trade, I'm just saying you trade Kirk Cousins for Lamar and other stuff. I mean, just because you have Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson. That's what I would say. That'd be a good fit if he could go there.
I was the teams I was thinking about for a good landing spot for Lamar. I was actually thinking of the Patriots too. They've made a lot of big splashes in trades. And like you said, Charles, he would actually have a really good weapon this upcoming year. Juju actually signed with the Patriots.
Woo! Let's go.
He's about to have an MVP year, according to you. 2-time MVP.
According to Matt.
According to you and Matt.
I didn't say anything about it.
Bro, I didn't say
I texted Matt when they signed him, and I was like, I laughed at him.
No, Charles said he's definitely at the age to have another MVP season. He's not.
Bro, I didn't say Juju was good. I just said he's better than what the Ravens have had, which honestly isn't much.
You did name drop Juju, so that's who I referenced.
For me, for Lamar, Dolphins is intriguing, but I'm gonna go with the Colts. I think the Colts have,
Interesting.
they've got a decent line and they've got, some weapons, Michael Pittman, and I don't know. I think the Colts could be something to play with, maybe. I like their new head coach, the Eagles offensive coordinator. You saw it happen with Jalen Hurts this past year and that offense. I think Lamar could be a good fit there. So
I think
Colts, go for him. Honestly, I don't want to be on the Ravens this year. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm more on the side of the Colts being a team. They have a really good team outside of the quarterback position. I think they're going to try. They have a high draft pick too. I think they're going to try and make a splash for a good rookie QB. And
yeah, either that or they trade or they
could trade for one.
I've heard rumors that the Colts are considering it. Who knows how true that is? So
they released Matt Ryan. They're not going to re-sign him. It makes me sad. I want Matt Ryan to still play in the league.
Maybe the Patriots can use him as a backup.
Maybe,
but I don't know. They've got Mac Jones. I don't know. They got the new dynasty right there.
Well, I still think Matt Ryan is starting caliber. I don't want to see him playing backup for some team.
No, I don't think he has starting.
So
I think he's done. He's done. He's backup at best.
You think he's done?
Yeah,
he's not done. He's still got some juice in him.
As a backup, yeah.
As a starter, actually, he still needs to remake his 2016 MVP year. But he still actually needs to win the Super Bowl this time. And he's actually sorry for interrupting, but he's actually going to win the Super Bowl on the Vikings.
Like I said, no, I think you go back up maybe get a ring with the new Dynasty Patriots with Matt Jones, GOAT quarterback, Juju. I think Matt Jones is elite. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he's like top 5.
No.
I just think he just had a bad offensive coordinator. I think he's top 5.
I don't think the Patriots.
Well, I think we can save these thoughts for another podcast where we do overreaction episode. So
we do have a lot of thoughts for football. We're all pretty passionate.
We just gotta try and keep it under 45 minutes this time, Sam.
We've definitely passed 45 minutes. I'm pretty sure we've passed an hour at this point.
I think we're at like 35, to be honest. So.
35 minutes?
According to you, yeah. According to you, you were like, "No, we're good." And I was like, "I'm pretty sure we've already hit 45." And you're like, "Oh wait, yeah."
When you asked that, it just hit 40.
Okay. So not too bad. Anyways,
it could have been a lot worse.
All right. Well, Matt, hit us with an outro.
Yeah, well, hopefully everyone liked our segments. If anyone has any comments, questions, concerns, well, hopefully we hear them at some point. We'll get something set up. Anyways, we appreciate you guys listening to us. We're glad to be back after like 6 months. We're pretty excited for like the new kind of ideas, podcasts, maybe some rebranding coming out, just so people know. Other than that, we'd like to thank Sam for being on our podcast today. We've actually been memeing you. He's not going to be a host. No, just kidding. No, we're glad Sam is one of the new co-hosts. Yeah. And we're very thankful for the direction that we're going. And it's your guy, MattyB. What can I say?
Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, and also we're on Spotify and Apple, or we should be. I honestly don't know. I'll have to check up on that.
We are on Apple still. Do not worry.
So make sure to listen or subscribe if you want to watch on YouTube. No Notes Podcast, which might be changed, as Matt said. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. Rebranding.
All right. Well, goodbye. Say goodbye, Sam.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.